Hey there guys, welcome to another random unopenings video, and I'm gonna take it back this time around because when I started doing random unopenings, I started sharing a lot of stuff that I would get that wouldn't be exactly the hobby that I usually review, like action figure stuff. And I think I'm gonna go back in that direction briefly, but I'm also probably gonna combine it with something that I am doing so often in these random unopenings videos. So I don't know how long have you guys been watching my videos, but back in the past, I would usually preface a lot of my reviews and stuff like that, or a lot of my random unopenings videos by sharing stuff that I would come across that I would get, specifically the topic of books. And that is one of the things that I'm gonna do right now. I'm gonna share with you guys a book that I've been wanting for a long time, and that is City of Darkness Revisited by Greg Gerard and Ian Lambot. And it is a book, as you can see, is nicely wrapped, and I'm gonna open it. It is a book that deals with the Kowloon walled city that was in Hong Kong. And the thing about this place, it has so much lore behind it. So many films were actually filmed inside the city. Notably Bloodsport with Jean-Claude Van Damme, the whole Kumite thing. And the thing about it is that it was such an interesting place because it's no longer there. It actually got knocked down in the early 90s. But it was such an interesting place because it was situated in Hong Kong when Hong Kong was still under British rule. And it was it was just like these buildings just stacked on top of each other, and somehow a society made it work inside there without that much law enforcement, to be honest. And yes, a lot of crime syndicates were running like drug distribution and all these illegal sweatshops and all this other type of stuff, illegal meat markets, illegal dentistries. It was just but besides a lot of the crime, there were actually legit families that were just making the best of their lives inside there and living relatively comfortable lives, despite the fact that everything was just so cramped together. Like if it was like I wouldn't say futuristic, but kind of like a present day dystopian environment, something out of Blade Runner, if that makes any sense. And that city just really always interested me, just how much it was able to exist and under the whole guise, because I think it was one of those things that the British government really didn't want to handle it, and the Chinese government, well, that's your problem because it's situated in Hong Kong and you guys should be dealing with that type of stuff. And finally they decided to clean it up and dispersed all, like knocked down the city, dispersed all the residents there. I think they bought off all the tenants inside or forced off, which that would be pretty terrible if that were to happen. And it's not the first time that's ever happened to people, I'm pretty sure. And but besides the point, they raised down all those buildings finally, and it was the end of an era. And I think they even filmed a Jackie Chan movie while they were tearing the city down. I think that was one of the scenes in which he had as well. But regardless, it exists in the memories. I know there's been like video arcades in Japan dedicated where like the whole theming is the Kowloon walled city, and it's just in general you just see it be like a repeated motive. It even exists in Lego sets, if you find that hard to believe. Like one of the sets that I actually own, one of my crown jewels in Lego sets that I own is Ninjago City, and the Ninjago City is literally a kind of much more utopian version of the Kowloon walled city, but it's still like just things stacked on top of each other, right down to like the waterways and the kind of like the natural garden way at the bottom, which there was an actual natural garden situated right in the center of the Kowloon walled city, even though a lot of the alleyways were just so completely down underground that they were just drenched in and you had to have just artificial lighting because the sun wouldn't even reach down there anymore. So this is the cover of the book. It actually has a book cover, like a legit book cover, and here is the book itself. Oh, and a dust jacket as well. And as you can see, it's just a photography book of like just people living their lives in the city, along with like essays written about by the authors. And this is like one side of like just what was there at one point in time, and it's massive. It was massive. as you can see, like, look at this right here. Look, and it just sprawled for like kilometers. And yeah, like, I think at one point it was like one of the most densely populated areas for square kilometers. And yeah, so it's just it was a very interesting place to live. Maybe not an interesting place to live in if you weren't really used to that type of lifestyle, and you were considered an outsider. But man, like, as you can see, like, look at these dark alleyways. They were just dimly lit like that day and night. And I don't know, man. It's always interested me. Even as a child, when I used to see like Bloodsport, like that area would always interested me. Like the city, how it was just situated, how it would be located. And yeah, like literal Venice office right there. I think since it was like dentists that weren't probably credentialized or accredited, I should say. You know, you took risk actually going in there, like with surgeons and what have you. And one of the things, because I've read essays in the past about the area, one of the things that would actually catch me by surprise was the fact that a lot of the places served, like a lot of the locations had served two double purposes. So for instance, it's gonna sound wrong, but like you would have like public schools, you know, like you would have public schools in the morning. You would have like public schools in the morning for children to actually study and live there. And then at night they would turn into like brothels, you know, brothels and bars. And the roofs were actually another source. Like there was like this interconnected walkway. Like you could literally walk from one roof all the way to like the other like edge of the like the buildings and stuff like that. So everything was just interconnected. It was just a maze of like planks and wires. And I don't know. It's a really interesting place. Obviously, I don't think it's something that would ever happen again. But then again, the way the world is going nowadays, who knows? You know, who really knows how things might end up now? But it was just a very interesting place overall. And I'm finally glad to own this book because truth be told, I had heard. So this is the revised version. There was an original version that was released like in the late 90s, early 2000s, and this is the much more superior version that was released. I want to say the first print of this revised edition was probably released like a good 10 years ago, and it goes in and out of print a lot. It really does. And I was almost panicking that I wasn't going to be able to get the book before it sold out again. So I'm just glad I was able to snag a copy. And I'm just a big fan of these books. If you know me, if you know me, I don't get me wrong, I like literature, but I'm a much more bigger fan of just picture books, and especially when it concerns like a topic, like, you know, I right off the bat, I could see some of my like Disney books, like my Disney design book, the Layout on Backgrounds, the book on George Lucas, the Air book. I think Air was actually one of the books that I had in one of my previous videos, in which it was like just aerial shots, aerial photos of like cityscapes. That one was pretty big. A book on Los Angeles, the Taschen Los Angeles book. It's all excellent stuff, and it's all mostly photography. Hyrule Historia. I see Hyrule Historia. The book on Metal Slug, the Doctor Who book, Comic-Con book, and you know, and then of course there's other like actual like kind of anecdotal like books like Mouse Tales and More Mouse Tales, that if you're into Disney, words cannot describe how much I recommend you read those books. Of course, they're a bit dated now. They're mostly talking about Disney like in the 70s and 80s, but still, it's worth a read. It's worth a read. Mouse Tales and More Mouse Tales. Oh, I think More Mouse Tales actually covers the 90s as well, so just something to keep in mind. But yeah, like I'm just happy, man. I'm just happy I was able to get the book. And it's gonna go into my bookshelf, into my collection, just added to all the other picture books that I have. And yeah, so that closes this chapter out of random unopenings, because this was pretty much a random, and I kind of, well, random unwrappings, I guess, is what we should be looking at right now then. But let's open up something else. I know you guys have been seeing me open up a lot of these mini brands balls, and hey, it won't hurt to open up another one. So I'm gonna open up this miniverse Taco Bell ball that I bought, and let's see what I got. I think the last time I ended up getting was I don't know, man. If I'll remember it if I see it, but I'm hoping I get a drink this time, man. I'm hoping I'm able to snag something to drink. Let's remove this outer layer. Oh, another thing. I'm a big fan of like the Kowloon Walled City because it reminds me of the planet in Star Wars, Coruscant. It reminds me of that planet in Star Wars where like the Senate is, and like, you know, because there's a lot of like levels, you know. So pretty much what you see in the movie and in certain scenes are just the very most top levels of the because it's a whole planet covering that city, you know. So I am I am more interested in the lower levels, and I know that we're gonna dedicate a whole video game to those lower levels, and they just never. I think it was Star Wars 1313, which was the level right there, which in lore is like the most underworld type of like crime riddled level. Even though there's other ones in which like pretty much like abandoned like factory levels in which like obviously crime syndicates use it to like smuggle things in there. But besides the point, yeah, like it's just another source of like how much the Kowloon Walled City just influenced like all these different locations in like media, especially in fiction. So yeah, like it's sorely missed, but maybe I'm speaking for myself, and maybe it was actually a really dangerous place to be in. I mean, it did look like that in Bloodsport, but hey, it was nice. It looked nice, as in like it was an interesting place, is what I should be saying. It was a very interesting place, and it's no longer there. So, but yeah, Diablo sauce. Should we save the Diablo sauce for last? I think we should. Let's open up instead the fire sauce. So let's see, fire. You didn't hear it from me. And hey, if I drop things now, it doesn't matter. Okay. Ooh, I see I got tomatoes and sour cream. And I have tortilla chips. Taco Bell tortilla chips. And I have seasoned beef and refried beans right here. What could I have possibly pulled? I guess it's gonna be revealed in the Diablo sauce. So here is the Diablo sauce. See you on the other side. Let's see what I got. Ooh, it looks like I got well, this is a tray. Could I have gotten like a Mexican pizza? Okay, I mean, this is an actual like tray with a lid, and this is like an actual like tray. Like, or I should say, this is a container, right? This is more of a container tray, and this is actually like a tray. So, and what did I get? Ooh, I got tongs. Can never have enough tongs. And these little Taco Bell logos, you get them because you put them on the mini brands ball. You know, I thought that's pretty cool. And nacho cheese sauce. So I think I got like nachos. Yeah, because the tortilla chips, the seasoned beef, the tomatoes, the sour cream. Yeah, I'm thinking and the nacho cheese sauce, I'm thinking I got nachos. Is it gonna show up right here? Yeah. So okay. So by the basis of elimination, I obviously didn't get the drinks or the breakfast burrito. I'm thinking I ended up getting the nachos Belgrande. But yeah, I think that's what I ended up getting, the nachos Belgrande. So that's pretty cool. Oh, and yeah, it actually showed it to me. Duh, it showed it to me on the other side. Let's see, boom, and there's the instructions on how to make your own nachos Belgrande. So yeah, so I ended up pulling the nachos Belgrande, not Belgrande, not bad. So yeah, man. That's all I got to share for now. I hope you guys appreciated this random unopenings video, and that does it for now. Hopefully I'm able to pull up a review or something very soon. Until then, take care guys, and I am out.